got you started? Like, was it like your father or like what got you into electronics?
Yeah, my dad he brought a computer home when I was 12. He worked at a company called Aerojet, did a lot of aerospace work. And he was a chemical engineer, and he started using computers to control like chemical processes and things. And so he brought an Apple II home when I was 12 or something. I just started playing with that. My brother actually did too, but I was so obsessed with the whole thing that I just hogged to the point where my brother didn't really have any time on it. In retrospect, my brother was writing programs and everything, but he just got kind of flushed out of the picture. Now, the irony is that he works here now. He's the vice president of the company, and out of necessity, he has learned all kinds of electronics. He can write code, and he can design circuitry, and he did get educated. He went to UC Davis. He got a degree in, I think, environmental policy. So for the first 5 or 6 years after he graduated, he worked for some company that did like environmental impact reports and these kinds of things. And then he came to Parallax. And in 1996, Lance and I went separate ways. We weren't getting along anymore, and it wasn't working out. So we bought Lance out, and then he went and did his own stuff. Right now, he has a company called Engine Yard, and they do like big server hosting for Ruby on Rails systems. I may not be explaining it right, but he also assembles teams of Ruby programmers for projects, and so he's down in San Francisco nowadays. But anyway, my brother came in and kind of took over a lot of Lance's responsibilities, and over time he just learned how to do things, and he got really into machining, so he brought a lot of machining into Parallax. Now we have some CNC mills that we build our robots on, and my brother pretty much, well, not all of it, but like all of our little walker robots, my brother designed those, and now we have another mechanical engineer on staff designing like our wheeled motor system for, kind of build your own robot type projects. Well, we can walk out there and I can show you the machinery.
Yeah, how many people work there, Chip?
I think about 44, 45 now.
Now, all these guys want to know if you're hiring.
Yeah, I mean, jobs periodically come up. Check the website. There's like an employment section, and a lot of our really formative employees that we've had over the years, they were customers to begin with. They had backgrounds like you guys. They were using our product, and they had some kind of, innate desire to do this kind of stuff. And they just came in Parallax, and we hired them, and like Jeff Martin, who writes all of our Windows software, he started out as a customer, and then Lance, a long time ago, we used to tech support guys, so Lance thought, hey, why don't we just look in our local customer database? And he found Jeff in Roseville, which was near Rockland, and Jeff came in, and he had just been laid off from some local energy company, and so we hired him, and now he's awesome. He does all of our Windows code programming. He does a great job. He's been with us for probably maybe 14 years or so, maybe more.
So you want to go mobile? Show us
Mobile.
some stuff? Mobile?
Oh, walk around? Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys would love to see what it looks like at Parallax.
Okay. All right. I'll show you my office. This is kind of a pigsty now. I don't do much work here anymore. I have an office at home that I work at because when I come into the office here, there's so many distractions every day that it's really hard to get any real work done. So it's kind of like a day to talk to people and find out what's going on. So this is our layout computer here. I principally right now we work with one other engineer, and he lives in Oklahoma. He does all of our layout design. So this is the next chip. Right now we're working on all the tabs. Oh, every iPad has an integrating A to D converter in it. Also a comparator, so you can do like high-speed differential signaling, USB, for example. And so these are 32K RAM blocks. Each of these is a cog RAM. This is a 4-port member here. So we're just kind of putting the building blocks into position to see how we're going to structure the overall chip. Okay, so we'll walk this way. Here's a lecture for free.
It looks like my office.
Ideas for IO pads, protection diodes. Yeah, it is kind of like your office. Now these here, I don't know if you can see these okay?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, these are probe blocks that we have a guy designed locally for us, and we've got huge inventory up the way. I don't know if you can see this. There's some more over here. Yeah, they're gas powered. They have a hydrostatic drive system, and they go about 14 miles an hour, and they're very torquey. They can pull cars and things. Then here, this is one of my favorite things in here. Before I got into computers, I was really interested in audio. And so I've been interested in this stuff since I was maybe 8 years old or so. And believe it or not, some of you will know what this is.
Can you describe its functionality, Chip?
Well, it's purely mechanical. But you know, the irony is that today we have all this digital stuff, but a well-recorded and pressed record with good equipment actually sounds better to my ears, and I think a lot of other people, than any kind of commercial digital media that you can buy. Now, there's digital, I'm sure, is in excess of good old analog kind of format now. There's not data to really, well, to say, kind of carry the sound quality. But this system here, this was designed, all this past labs equipment is designed locally. There's a guy up the road here who, well, it's about 40 minutes from here, and his name's Nelson Pass, and he's kind of one of the grandfathers of hi-fi. And he's designed all this equipment. He primarily does amplifier design, but they've got a phono stage and some active speakers that have, there's 4 amplifiers in each of these speakers, and then very sensitive drivers, but it sounds really good. All right, now see this here? This is an early prototype for what we are now selling that, other gas-powered robot. The guy that did this design for us, he actually made scooters that you stand on and ride around. So he had a lot of this scooter concepts in here. Now he's got disc brakes and chain drives and these kind of things. So what we wound up with was quite different. It was all hydraulic. In fact, this was hydraulic too. But anyway, that was an earlier version. Now, let's see. Right now we're going kind of away from where I work, and I'm going to take you to the bib room. Okay. This is our secondary warehouse. This is where we store a lot of stock that comes in from China and elsewhere before we build it into kits.